So this is the last call to join me for free inside of Transformation Tribe for the free workshop that I have coming up on Thursday, September 15th. And don't worry if you can't make it live, you'll still get access to the replay for the entire weekend, so you'll have time to watch it. But if you are a woman who loves God, but you struggle with losing weight, maybe overeating, or maybe you have a sweet tooth you just can't get rid of, then join me inside of Transformation Tribe for free for this workshop. I believe it will be a blessing for you, and you will learn some tools and some keys that are going to help you get out of that lose weight and gain it cycle. So join us at malaikaburley.com/network, and that will give you access to a Transformation Tribe for free. And then you also get access to the workshop. All right, let's go. Welcome to the Overweighted Podcast, where we get real about the struggles of being obese and needing to lose a whole lot of weight. My name's Malaika. I'm your host, weight loss mentor and coach. Join me on my personal weight loss journey to lose about 200 pounds, and as I share my very real experiences, plus some simple, successful, and sustainable weight loss tips and mindset shifts so that we can mark lose weight off of our to-do list for good. So we're all going to have those times at some point during our weight loss journey where we're not doing things exactly the way we planned. Maybe we fell off track or fell off the wagon, like they say. So I wanted to give you some tips that are going to help you to get back on your weight loss plan. And there's some things that help me as well. And over this past summer, I was pretty much off my plan for the whole summer, and you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes when I say off. And I say that because I don't follow a diet or anything like that. I just work with a calorie deficit. And so I don't do diets, I don't do fads or programs, and I don't restrict any foods or food groups in particular. So that's why I'm doing air quotes when I'm saying I went off plan. But basically what I'm saying is that I wasn't as diligent over the summer with my weight loss plan as far as sticking within my calorie range as I have been at other times this year. But even during that time, I still made sure that I did two things. One, I made sure I still tracked what I was eating every day, even if I was way over my calories for the day. And then the other thing is I made sure I weighed myself on my regular schedule, which for me, I weigh myself daily, but that's because I just use it as a tool. I'm not suggesting that anybody else weighs themselves daily, especially if your emotions are tied to what the scale says. Then I wouldn't suggest you do that. But I use my tracker and my scale just as tools on my journey, and I don't get attached to what either of those things says. So I made sure that I continued to do that throughout the summer. But as far as anything else, I wasn't really focused on trying to make healthier options. I wasn't focused on staying within my calorie range. My kids had a couple of birthdays, and then my birthday as well was over the summer. So yeah, so it was just one of those summers. I took the summer off, I guess we could say. So now I'm at the point though where I'm being more diligent. I'm focusing more on staying within my calorie range, focusing more on making healthier choices daily. So I wanted to give you some tips to help you when you may go off of your weight loss plan. And if you implement these things, then hopefully it'll help you to where you're not totally falling off the wagon. Maybe you just slip a little bit and get yourself right back on track, because we want to get out of that lose weight and gain it cycle that we tend to find ourselves in, right? So here's 5 things to help you when you fall off track or when you go off of your plan. Number 1, first and foremost, I want you to give yourself some grace, because all of us are going to fall off our plans and our journeys at some point. Life has, those ups and downs, those ebbs and flows, the hills and valleys. And so there are just some times where we're going to be really good about sticking with things. And there are going to be other times where there are other things in our life that's more important than focusing maybe on that weight loss plan. And so that kind of may fall to the background. And so I want you to give yourself some grace, because it happens to all of us. We've all had those times. And just remember that if it was one day, one meal, one weekend, one vacation, whatever it was, that is not the end all be all. We can still stop the cycle and you can get yourself back on track. And what happens when we're beating ourselves up about, going off plan, or even if you may have gained a couple pounds or 5 pounds or whatever, a lot of times that tends to make it worse because we're making ourselves feel worse. And then some of us tend to eat when we're emotional. So then we start eating more and it just makes things even worse, and you fall even more off plan and you just end up deeper in the hole or right back in that cycle. So I want you to give yourself some grace. And one of the things that you can do is write down some of the things that you are still doing well. So like I mentioned before, with my summer off of my weight loss plan, I still was making sure I weighed myself and I still made sure I tracked. And it didn't matter what I was eating or how far I was over my calorie range, I still made sure that I logged it. So write down those things that you're still doing well, because it will help you get in a better mindset so that you can start moving forward instead of, going down that deep spiral, which will probably just end up making you fall all the way off track and gaining that weight back. So write down the things that you're still doing well and focus on those things. All right. So that's number one. Give yourself some grace and focus on the things that you're still doing well. Number two, make the decision to stop right now. Okay, that probably should have been number one, but number two, make the decision to stop right now. So if you are falling off plan, or maybe you gave yourself a cheat day that turned into a cheat weekend, that turned into a cheat week, and by the way, there will be episodes about why you shouldn't have cheat days, but if that happened to be your thing and it just kept going and going, make the decision to stop right now. So what you can do is tell yourself, okay, this is it. I'm going to stop and I'm going to get myself back on track. And then there's a couple things that you can do. So one, once you make that decision, change whatever it is that you're doing right now in the moment. So it's kind of like having that pattern interrupt so that we're not continuing the same behavior and doing the same habits over and over again. So whatever you're doing right in that moment, change it. All right, do something positive, do something that's going to distract you. So maybe if you're sitting watching TV and just eating snacks over and over again, so maybe get up and go walk around your house for a minute. Maybe get up and listen to some positive music and move around. Just change whatever the behavior is that you're doing in that moment. So once you make that decision to stop, change what you're doing. Number three, you want to get rid of the temptation and don't bring it back in. So if it happened to be like sweets or some junk food or some unhealthy thing that you are continuing to eat that is tempting you and really triggering you to start that spiral to get off your plan, well, get that temptation or that thing out of your house if it's in there and don't bring it back in. I don't promote cutting out any food groups or restricting anything. So if you still have the craving for the thing and you want to have it, you can still go out and get it, but it's giving you multiple opportunities to decide, do I really want this thing? Because you got to get up, you got to get in the car, go to the store, before you can actually get access to that thing. Whereas if it's still in your house, it's just right there and you can just get up and grab it. So if you get it out of your house, at least it still gives you multiple opportunities to make that decision that, no, I don't actually want this thing and I want my weight loss more than I want this thing. So the other thing that you can do with that is, since you're getting that tempting food out of the house, is maybe find something else that will still satisfy that craving, but that may be a healthier option. So obviously, like with sweets, for instance, maybe you have more fruit in your house so that you can still get the sweet taste and that sugar from the fruit to satisfy that sweet craving. So one of the things that I used to do before I started my weight loss journey is I would eat a piece of cake every single night. Our grocery store sells like slices of cake, so you can get like individual pieces. And so whenever I would go to the grocery store to buy whatever I was going to cook for the day or the meals for the day, I would also grab a piece of cake. And so I would have a piece of cake every day. And so that just would end up, triggering me to eat other things and eat unhealthy. Like sometimes even after the cake, I might go to the store and get something else later to satisfy that sweet tooth. And so one of the things that I would do in the beginning of my weight loss journey to not have the cake every night is I started looking for other snacks that would satisfy that craving and not be as many calories. Like there's these Yasso bars that I like to get, and one of those bars, it's only 100 calories and it's still really satisfying, as opposed to that slice of cake that could be 400 to 600 calories. So I was still eating something sweet. I was still satisfying that sweet tooth, but it was less calories so that I could still lose the weight I wanted to lose. So getting rid of that temptation and not bringing it back in the house, or looking for some replacements or other options for that thing that tends to tempt you, is something else that you want to do when you are falling off track. So the fourth thing you can do when you're finding yourself falling off track and you're trying to get back on is reach out to your accountability or your support system. So first of all, if you don't have anyone, then look for someone that's maybe a little bit further ahead of you on their weight loss journey, and reach out to them and ask them if they will be your accountability or your support. Or you can always join us, of course, inside of Transformation Tribe. It's malaikaburley.com/network. You can join us in there for free, and you can reach out to me or make some friends within the community so that you have some other people to reach out to for accountability and support when you find yourself slipping off of your plan. And like I said, make sure it's someone ahead of you on their journeys, because I know before, whenever I would try to have someone for accountability and it was someone that was pretty much at the same level as me on their journey, if I say didn't want to go work out and then I'm like, oh, I don't really feel like working out, instead of them encouraging me to go do it, they'd be like, girl, I don't feel like working out either. So we were really not great accountability and support for one another. So like I said, I want to encourage you to find someone that's ahead of you, so that way they won't let you fall into your excuses, and they're probably already building some of the habits that you want to build, and so they'll be able to kind of pull you out of that and help you to keep doing the things that you want to do. So reach out to some accountability and support. And another thing I'll say with that too is you probably want it to be someone outside of your family. Sometimes when I know I want to do better about something, I will tell my son, and then he'll be really good about reminding me of the fact that I don't want to do that particular thing. Or if it was something that I want to do, like say maybe go walking, he'll, keep badgering me and harassing me until I go do what I say. So your kids actually will probably be really good accountability and support for you. But if it's someone like, say, for instance, like my mom, I would ask her sometimes. Previously, when I was married, I would ask my husband sometimes. And really, when they would remind me to do the thing that I said I was going to do, or not do the thing that I said I wasn't, I would just really get irritated with them. So I don't know if that's just a problem that I have, but I would suggest making it someone outside of your family just to protect that relationship. And also, I feel like sometimes we have, I don't want to say more respect, I can't really think of the right word, but sometimes we'll listen more when it's someone that isn't as close to us, like say our parents or our spouses. And so it's good to have that person outside of your family to be able to hold you accountable for the things that you say. So that was number 4, reach out to your accountability and support system. And the last thing, number 5, is remind yourself of why you are on this weight loss journey. And so you can sit down and journal it out, however you like to do that, whether it's pen and paper or if you like to do it digitally. But sit down and write out all those reasons why you are on this weight loss journey and the benefits that it's going to have for you, the positive things that are going to come from it, the things that are going to be different in your life once you achieve your weight loss goal. And also write out that person that you are trying to become and who is that future you? What is it that she's doing? What is it, the healthy habits that she's doing that you're working on developing? How is her life going to be different from the current you? And so just sit down and journal out those things. And if you need to, read those things every single day until you get yourself right back on track. So those are 5 things to help you out if you fall off of your weight loss plan. And maybe I shouldn't say if, when you fall off your weight loss plan, those are 5 things to help you get yourself right back on track. Just pick one, start with that. And if you notice that you haven't gotten back on, then go to the next thing and add that in. But first, give yourself some grace. Know that we all have those times. Make the decision to stop right then and there. Get rid of that temptation and don't bring it back in. Reach out to your accountability and support system and remind yourself of why you are on this journey. All right. I hope you have an amazing day and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you got any value out of this or something just really resonated with you, can you do me a favor and leave a review? It helps others find the show so that it could help them too. Also, I'd love to connect with you on other platforms. I'm Malaika Burley on IG and YouTube. And go grab my free webinar, The 5 Keys to Simple, Successful, and Sustainable Weight Loss at malaikaburley.com. And of course, all of those links are in the show notes. Thanks again and have a blessed day.